let's manually release and massage our neck and shoulders. So we're going to start by just resting our ear at our shoulder. So I'm going to lean this way. I'll take the same side hand and rest it on my ear, and the other hand's going to reach towards the floor. And we're just going to rest it here for a moment. Make sure we're breathing. Lovely. Take a moment, check in, make sure you're not pulling down with this hand that's on your ear. It's just resting there. Good. Now we're going to go ahead and stay with our ear over our shoulder on this side. We're just going to look down at the floor. The hand that was on the ear is now going to reach back towards the base of the skull, and I'm going to just kind of pull my head forward with that other hand still reaching towards the floor, getting a great stretch in the back of the neck here. And again, breathing. Good. Lovely. Then I'm going to take my hands to my cheeks and just gently bring it back to center, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So, ear reaches towards the shoulder, I take my hand up to my ear, other hand reaches down towards the floor. Good. And we're breathing. You should feel a great stretch along the side of the neck here. Those sternocleidomastoid muscles, everyone's favorite. And then again, we're going to look down at the floor, still keeping the ear in the same spot. I'm going to take that hand that was on my ear to the base of my skull and pull the head forward. That opposite hand is still reaching towards the floor. Good. And again, deep breaths. This can be a little intense. Good. And again, hands come to the cheeks and we come back up to center. Now, I'm going to go ahead and find my clavicle, that collarbone there, and I'm going to take my hand and reach it to my opposite hand and reach it towards my clavicle. And I'm going to pull down pretty firmly. The other hand's going to help it. And whatever side I'm on, I'm going to look up to the opposite side. Good. Should feel a really good stretch in the side of the neck here. Oh, someone's outside. I don't know if you can hear that, but someone just went, no way! New York City, baby. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, I'm going to take my hand to my collarbone. I'm going to pull down very firmly, take my other hand and help, and then look up to the opposite side. You feel a really good stretch in the front side of the neck here. Good. Lovely. Very nice. Good, and we'll come back to center. Okay, so I'm going to interlace my fingers now. I'm going to look down to the floor, and I'm going to take my fingers interlaced and rest my hands on the top of my head. I'm not pushing here, that's really important. I'm just resting it. Yeah, and you can kind of wiggle your head side to side if that feels good. And then I'm going to move my hands down towards the base of my skull. And just like I kind of pulled my head forward before on each side, I'm going to do the same thing, pulling my head forward. And I'm really thinking about my shoulders going down the back, right? So it's kind of creating this bow and arrow effect. So my head is being pulled forward and my shoulders are pulling down towards my tailbone. Yeah? Give that a try. Oh, something's cracking for me. Good. And then again, hands come to the cheeks and we bring our head back to the top. Lovely. Go ahead and roll your shoulders a couple of times just to kind of work that out. Good. And then we're going to shake our head no a few times, just feeling that stretch a little bit more. Good. And then we're going to shake the head yes. Very good. Lovely. Okay, now at this point, I'm going to invite you to get a little bit of lotion. Goodbye for a moment as I pull out my lotion. Now, this is not a requirement, but if you have it, it can be very helpful with this part. I'm also going to say if you have long hair like me, this is a good time to put it up so it's out of your way. We're going to do a nice manual massage of the back of our neck. Now, this is a part of the body that gets very tense, but it's an area where our pharynx muscles, jaw muscles, and tongue muscles and neck muscles all connect. So I'm going to just put a little bit of lotion on my hands. Excuse me. Okay, well, a little bit of lotion. And I'm gonna do it along the back of my neck. Lovely. Now, if you're a student of mine who uses corks, this is a good moment to put one cork in the front of the mouth, about a third of it in. Like so. I'm not going to put my cork in so you can hear what I'm doing. If you don't use corks with me, don't worry about it. I'm gonna turn to the back, but don't panic, I'm still here with you. And what we're gonna do is start by taking our, whatever hand you'd like, either one, and we're just gonna kind of squeeze across our neck like you're wringing out a sponge. I'm gonna find where the base of my skull meets the top of my neck. I'm gonna squeeze and then drag across. And then I'll take the other hand a little bit lower and do the same thing. Squeeze and drag across. And then a little lower, squeeze and drag across. And a little lower, squeeze and drag across. And we're just alternating the hands, squeeze and drag. And again, the lotion can help make this a little bit smoother, but it's not a requirement by any means. And drag, squeeze, and drag. And we're working our way down the neck here. Naturally, I decided to wear a turtleneck for this video, but here we are. Squeeze and drag. Good. And then once we get to where the base of the neck meets the top of the shoulders, I'm going to squeeze and then scoop my hand across the shoulder. So I'm going to squeeze and scoop. And then a little lower, squeeze and scoop. And again, a little lower, squeeze and scoop. And last one, you should be like well into your shoulder now. Squeeze and scoop. Lovely. We're going to do the exact same thing now, but starting with the other hand. So I started with my right hand, now I'll move to my left hand. Whatever hand you started with, just start with the opposite. Okay, so we're going to make sure that our jaw is nice and relaxed. We take our hand, we find where the base of the skull meets the top of the neck, and we squeeze and drag. And a little bit lower with the other hand, squeeze and drag. And again, a little lower, squeeze and drag, squeeze and drag. Just working our way down the neck. Lovely. And as always, keep breathing. Again, this can be a little bit intense if you have a very tight neck, so just make sure that you remember to breathe. Now I've gotten to the base of my neck where it meets my shoulder, so I'm going to squeeze and then scoop across my shoulder. Squeeze and scoop. And then the other side, squeeze and scoop. A little lower, squeeze and scoop. And a little lower, squeeze and scoop. Lovely, very nice. So now we're going to take our hand to our neck, keep it on the same side. So if I'm on the left side of my neck, I'm going to use my left hand. And I'm basically using my fingers to kind of pinch. So I'm going to bring my ear over my shoulder once again, and I'm just going to kind of pinch up and down the neck here with this very thick muscle that's in the side of the neck. What's it called? Your sternocleidomastoid. I know, you hear about it all the time. So we're just kind of pinching and massaging, just working out any of the tension here. You can go all the way up to behind the ear and then work your way back down. And then once one side feels somewhat okay, we'll switch to the other side and do a nice little squeezy situation. Just pinching up and down as we go. Lovely. And keeping in mind that both sides might be different, right? Your right side might be different from your left. You might notice more tension in one side versus the other. The asymmetries of the body are something to be marveled at and noticed. And it's okay. That is very common and normal. And that's that. So we're going to start by just basically taking our hands to the same side as our shoulder, which is to say, if you have your left hand, you have your left shoulder, and we're just going to kind of alternate squeezing. So I'm just going to go squeeze, 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 squeeze. And I'm just going to work my way up and down the shoulder. Squeeze, all the way up and down my shoulder and around my neck. Yeah. Good. Working your way. Good. Now we're going to take our opposite hand to opposite shoulder, right? So I'm going to basically squeeze and roll. Squeeze and roll. Squeeze and roll. And I'm just going to kind of keep doing that as I move through my shoulder. Squeeze and roll. Squeeze and roll. And you can do this all the way to where the shoulder meets the arm, essentially. So the top of the arm. And then work back up. Yeah. Squeeze and roll. Squeeze and roll. Squeeze and roll. Squeeze and roll. And then we'll go to the other side. And of course, if you need more time with this, you can pause the video and take more time if your shoulder needs it. Every day will be different. If you sleep funny, if you're feeling extra tension from a stressful life event, who's to say? Squeeze and roll, squeeze and roll, squeeze and roll. Very good. Nice. All right, friends, I hope that your neck and shoulders are feeling a little bit more relaxed. Feel free to do this video multiple times and have fun singing.